State, nestled in the southeastern part of Nigeria, is a home to a vibrant and dynamic youth population. Now, while many young people in the urban areas like Umuahia and Aba are starting to make strides in various sectors, the majority of the counterparts in rural communities face significant challenges in assessing opportunities that can empower them. Now, through the eyes of the youth, the government, and the advocates, this documentary sheds light on the efforts and gap in the youth empowerment in Abia State. Across Abia State, the government has been at the forefront of empowering young people, particularly through agricultural programs and digital marketing training. In an exclusive interview with the Special Assistant on Youth Development to the Abia State Governor, Comrade Onyebuchi, he added that these initiatives are part of the broader efforts to give youth the tools they need to succeed in an ever-changing world.
It is obvious that this government is a youth-friendly government. Not only for the youths, the general well-being of Abians is very paramount to His Excellency. If somebody is telling us that the government is not youth-friendly, I don't know where the person gets his reports. Last month, the state government sponsored 18 youths to participate on training. That is a federal government training. So we participated. That is a training on digital marketing, which we provided the logistics and also supported them financially to start up something.
Comrade Onyebuchi noted that the agricultural programs are creating a new generation of farmers, while the digital marketing training ensures that our youths can engage in the global economy without leaving their communities.
The manifesto of His Excellency concerning the youth program, I can tell you, is almost 40% implemented. Yes. You are aware that last year, June, July, we had about 310 Abia youths sent to Nasarawa on agricultural program. And all spent about 2 months. They spent about 2 months there for the training. And they came back, all of them, they came back after the training, and all of them got the support of 3 million naira from the government. That's His Excellency, 3 million naira each person. So if you multiply the 3 million naira by 310, I think you know how much that one will give you. His Excellency have engaged reasonably Abia youths into his governance, starting from the Deputy Governor of Abia State, who is also a youth. I'm sure you are aware of that. There in his quarter, we have Honorable Chinedu Mekeke, who was the former Deputy Chief of Staff to the Abia State government. Today is the local government chairman. You have people like Honorable Odinaka, who is the liaison officer for the state in Abuja, and the senior special assistant to the governor on multilateral and donor agencies. So these are the youths. The last local government election, I'm talking about the inclusion of the youths in the state governance. So the last local government election, where we'll have about 182 wards in Abia State under the 17 local governments, I can tell you that will have over 120 who are youths. Currently, we'll have a Abia Digital Youth Skill Program. Is currently going on across the 17 local government, where 510 youths will be trained. 510 youths will be trained on software skills. This is obvious that technology today is the key to the growth of the country. So, what we'll do, we started collecting informations of our youths from their mayors down to their councillors. We are taking 30 persons per local government. 30 persons per local government. So His Excellency have already flagged off that program. So we have already started gathering, which will commence any moment from now. You're also aware that 27th of November last year, we'll have about 89 of Abia youth who are smiling because Oga gave them 72 million naira. That's the athletes and their coaches. So these are youth empowerment program and strategies that Oga have been using. Then last year, December on 27, His Excellency, under the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, also flagged off a program on ICT at Isialangwa North and South, Mbato Secondary School, where 1,005 youths will be trained on ICT. So we want to make it's going to be batch by batch, 3 months program. 3 months program. Then the first set have been trained, have completed their training in Abia Poly, that is Aba. So for those in Abia Central, so they're already doing their training in Isialangwa. Then now by month end, we are moving down to Onhofia for those in Abia North. So these are the youth programs who have started this year. The Office of Youth Development is open to every Abians, especially the youths. So our office is open. You are free to come to the government house. The government house is not for only appointees. It's for every Abians to come in and make inquiries. Then outside that, we meet our youths. The youth leaders, from the community youth leaders down to church youth leaders, party youth leaders, religious youth leaders. We meet with them monthly here in this political block, that's conference. So we meet with them monthly, we interface with them, then we hear their feedback, issues bothering them in the local governments. I can tell you that it was after a meeting like this that we got a call from one of our youths concerning issue of Isu in Arochukwu. It was a youth that brought the complaint, and immediately I put it up to His Excellency, and the Deputy Governor and the CP then acted on it immediately. Then, in addition to that, this year we captured in our 2025 budget, we'll be having a quarterly or monthly radio program. That is Youth Hour, Abia Youth monthly radio program to engage our youths and also get the feedback from them.
These programs aim to reduce unemployment, with many youths receiving grants and starting their own businesses. But the big question remains, are they reaching out to every youth, both in the urban and rural areas? Social entrepreneur and a democracy advocate, Daberechi Kingsley Ikejoba, who is the president of Progressive Abia Youths, said the government's efforts are commendable, urging the government to create more awareness and inclusive programs that engage youth across all corners of Abia State.
On what we've done and the evidence that abound that Abia youth have taken in a different shift. Abia youth have embraced a paradigm shift in the area of leadership, and Abia is better for it, Nigeria is better for it, and hopefully Africa will be better for it. We've been doing a lot. Last year, we did the Walk to Good Governance project that we partnered with LEAP Africa and the Nigerian Youth Futures Fund to execute, holding Abia State government accountable. Because like I said, as citizens, we needed to play that role. Nobody will play it for us if we don't play it for ourselves. Currently, we're also empowering young people. We're bringing opportunities for people who have gone far and wide, people who are vastly experienced in the area of leadership to mentor young people in Abia. We are also creating avenues for economic empowerment in terms of entrepreneurship and all the other training that we'll do in that sector. So these are avenues that we've used to empower the young people. We also introduce what we call a day with history, where we take young people to some of these historic artifacts we have. The last time we went to the museum, the War Museum, and we had to make young people understand and, of course, see for themselves the negative effect that the Civil War had, on our country and our economy, and the victims that came out of that particular very sad incident. So that we did to make young people to think positively and not be destructive minded. So yeah, these are some of the things we do, and we try to champion some causes as well. Courses for inclusion for those with disability. We try to include them in our programs, and we continually engage young people, try to get them to do the right things. We try to get them to contribute their own quota to state development, whether at the community level or in any other, facet of the society that they find themselves. So these are some of the things that we're trying to do and will continue to do to make sure that Abia youth are progressive and continually contribute to the development of our society. Okay, so Progressive Abia Youth is actually a non-governmental organization. So we don't actually, we partner with government, of course, when the opportunity presents itself, but we don't depend on the government to function. So it will be difficult to say, okay, we did this because this government was in power, right? But there are a number of things that we saw in the last administration that we didn't like. We saw that the way government resources were, used was not in line with best global practice, and we advocated against it. We also saw that young people were not involved in the act of, policy making, and we advocated against that. We also saw that there was a whole lot of abuse of public resources in terms of funds. We also advocated against that. Now, these things I mentioned, a number of them are still, existing today in this current dispensation. But yes, we've seen some infrastructural, adjustment and advancement in this government. But one thing that the last administration had, which I think we don't have now, is that sense of engagement and community involvement in programs of government and of course policy implementation. As much as we can say that that didn't yield much, but we saw them make efforts in that regard. You remember that the last government tried to send some Abia youth, I think about 30 of them, to China to learn shoemaking and all of that. I think that showed an intent that this government needs to carry on. As much as, that didn't succeed as much because there were some issues along the line, but I think it was a step in the right direction. It's something that this government has to build on and advance to ensure that young people are well included in their government.
He added that youth empowerment should not only be for those in urban centers. Rural youth also deserve the same opportunities, stressing that there is a need to ensure that every youth feels represented and included in these programs. Also speaking with another youth advocate, Comrade Kelechimo added that they see a lot of programs in Umuahia and Aba, but in rural areas the opportunities are few and far between, stressing that there is a need for programs that are visible, that they can see and engage with, and that speak directly to their needs. According to Comrade Imo, it is not just about digital marketing or farming. They need vocational training, sports programs, and platforms that nurture the talents. These should be present in every corner of Abia State, not just the urban centers.
Well, I think that I'm aware that recently the administration is trying to embark on digital training for young people in I think in all the 17 local government. But I think the headquarters will be on 3 local governments, from what I read, which I'm a fan of trying to equip young people with digital skills that will help them operate in this our world today. I think what is basically lacking really is the information. Maybe the information is not really going to the young people that need these skills. That is why I'm always advocating for stakeholders engagement before things like this are done, or when we are about to brilliant ideas like this are initiated. It would be nice for every young person to be carried along. There should be a forum where young people from different local government do a kind of pool on what is required in each of these local government areas, and what the young people feel that they need as skills in order to thrive in this our economy. Because truly, the economy is not funny, it's harsh, and most of the time it is the young people that feel the brunt of whatever comes out of this economy. So I think that in issues like this, the young people needs to be carried along in government policies, because I have known that I've been approached, especially in the when they were giving the agric loan. Young people complained. Some what agripreneurs, as they call them, complained that they didn't even know the process of which some of these loans happened, and some of them wanted the grants and they didn't get it, and they said, okay, if I can talk to 1 or 2 persons in government. I said, well, I don't know myself, I only heard about it. So I think there should be a mechanism to which some of this information is passed. Once the right informations are passed, once the right information gets to the right people, I think young people will really key into it. So I wouldn't say the government is not doing anything for young people. Maybe the way and manner in which the communication is circulating may not actually be the best. In terms of digital skills, because I'm a fan of technology, okay? I'm a fan of technology. I believe is the future. I believe it is today and it is the future. I think that the government should bring about all the tech hubs in the state. Each of the tech hub should be able to train a particular number of youths. Let it not be restricted to a particular tech hub. If it is done, if it is a collective thing, invite all the owners of tech hubs and say, okay, how can we all collaborate in order to train a lot of young people in Abia on digital skills? I think that will go a long way in equipping the young people digitally. I'm also aware that not all young people are interested in getting digital knowledge. I'm aware of that. So there should be a forum in which maybe the SA on youth, I don't know, there should be an SSA on youth, okay? Have a forum in which he interfaces from time to time the young population. And this, call it a town hall, okay, where you interface with the young people and they will tell you, okay, this is the challenges we are facing. We have these skills, maybe we don't have the market. So the government will try to say, okay, you have this skill and you're not gainfully employed. How can we now help you to be gainfully employed? Are we going to establish you, or are we going to absorb you, or are we going to refer you to companies that need that your skills? So there's a lot of things that the government can do in order to help young people, and you cannot know this if you do not have a mechanism in which you can have this interaction with young people. A lot of young people in Abia are willing to work. By the way, Abians are enterprising, they are hardworking, and they are young people who are energetic and ready to, if you want them to run now, they will run now. But what they just need is that platform to actually express what they have. And if there is this understanding between the government and the young people, having this regular exchange of ideas, I think the government will be better informed on where to channel their energy to. This is just my own humble opinion.
When you get to Abia, I think you see how they are trying to bring more youth to learn trades, learn businesses. Then just that the administration is not communicated enough to get to the grassroots. That means if they can get to men that can reach up to the grassroots, I think it will be better. Like churches, like how do I put it? Like villages, like youth leaders. I think with that, it will work out. So let them get to the grassroots. That's the main reason. So that the publicity will be more to people that miss this information. Not just few people having information. I think that is all.
Basically, I'm impressed when it comes to the road network. Usually, going to Zakali from Umwa here, it takes about an hour plus. But I've been able to go to Zakali within 10 minutes or thereabout, and I'm really impressed. Best for the insecurity that I know that the government is trying to tackle, but I feel like they've done a lot when it comes to the road network. Like, so I had to take a couple of people to the court, and the high court in Ozuakari, and it took us less time. We didn't have to wake up way too early or beforehand to go to the court. It's quite accessible right now. Like always, there's always room for improvement, and I believe that more youth should be engaged. And the whole process of construction of roads it creates room for employment, because definitely the locals are going to be engaged when it comes to construction of roads. But one thing is for sure, roads are going to attract development, and since we are beginning to have good roads, it's going to encourage more people to come around, and it's going to encourage more industries to be created. So I feel one way or the other, the youth are benefiting from this current administration. But like I said earlier on, there's always room for more, for more growth, for more development, you know. If the youth feel like they are not currently being engaged, I'll endorse the present administration to engage more youth and also have them represented in all levels of government.
Since the inception of Alex Otis' government, I personally and actually haven't seen any empowerment for the youth yet. And I'm urging the state government to bring up empowerment in the aspect of employment, first of all, scholarships. A lot of Abia State youths are actually gallivanting around. Most of them don't even have the finances to go to school. So I think if the state government should bring up an avenue, a scholarship scheme that will empower students, that will empower the youth to go to school, both those that are already in the school, to continue, not to drop out from school. Okay, let me say during the tenure of Ochendo, the free taxi, I still see the taxis around up to now. So if the current state government can also emulate most of the things that were done in those previous times, and bring up some empowerment for youth, bring up some empowerment for our mothers, bring up some empowerment for our fathers, it will sincerely help to curb the unemployment in the states currently.
The call for more visibility, more programs, and greater inclusivity is not just a plea from youth advocates, it's a demand for the future of the state. Every young person, regardless of where they live, should have access to opportunities that allow them to thrive and contribute to the growth of their communities. Only by bridging the gap between urban and rural and by ensuring that these programs are sustainable and accessible to all can we hope to unlock the full potential of Abia youths. The future of Abia rests in the hands of young people. It is through collaborative efforts between the government, advocates, and youths themselves that we can see a generation rise, empowered and ready to lead the state into a prosperous future. The journey has only begun, and together they can ensure that no youth in Abia is left behind. As Abia youths take their place in the workforce, the economy, and the society, they will carry with them not just skills, but the hope for a better tomorrow for all. The time to invest in the future is now, and the ripple effects on that investment will be felt for generations to come. This special report paints a clear picture of current efforts and challenges in youth empowerment across Abia State, calling for more inclusive and accessible programs that ensure no youth is left behind. Victoria Ichie, Rapid TV, Omahe.